Hello everyone, it's Rosalie and I'm with my husband Xavier and my dad Paco, and it's about 90 degrees and really dry and hot where I live, so we're headed out to our favorite swimming hole. But along the way we passed my favorite mullein patch, so thought we'd take time to do a little video on harvesting the flowers for infusing in oil. And you can see we have lots of flowers to choose from in this little mullein patch. Mullein, or Verbascum thapsus, is a member of the figwort family, and we can use many different parts of the plant. The leaves, of course, are used for bronchial conditions, and making a tea out of the leaves can help to alleviate bronchitis, coughs, that's any kind of upper respiratory problems. And when you harvest the plant for leaves, you want to get the first year growth. This here is the second year growth. It's done up to spike in its second year. It's a biennial plant. And here, down here, we have the first year growth. So you can see that it's staying low to the ground. It hasn't sent up a flower stalk. And it's just this fuzzy baselet of leaves here. These leaves also are slightly irritating to touch. And so Karen Sherwood told me that natives would put these leaves in their moccasins to help keep their feet warm, because the slight irritant of the leaves would help bring circulation to their feet. They're also very thick and woolly, so you could use them as toilet paper. However, again, because they're slightly irritant, you wouldn't want to use a lot of them. But back to the flowers, I'm going to use my husband Xavier. We're going to go over to this beautiful mullein over here to gather some of the flowers. So when I gather flowers for mullein, I like to gather both the full buds, or the full open flowers. So Xavier can go ahead and grab one of those full open flowers and shows you how it's done. Just kind of pinch it at the base there. Great. And then put it in the jar. And I also like to get the buds too, so the ones that haven't quite fully opened. And again, you just kind of pinch it at the base, pluck it off, and put it in the jar. And we have a lot of flowers, so we can fill up a pretty large container of mullein flowers today if we wanted to. But sometimes you only have one or two mulleins to choose from, and the flowers, they just open up one at a time. So in that case, what I do is I gather as many as I can one day, and I put them in a jar, and then I fill that with oil. And each day I keep going back to the mullein patch, and I keep adding flowers to the oil until it's full. Now this year, I think it was Heather from the village herbalist shared with us that you could just take the whole flower head, like the one we see here, and just chop that up and put it in there. So it's a couple different options. I kind of like plucking those beautiful little flowers and putting them in the jar, so that's how I do it. Alright, well, it's hot, so we're gonna head off to Black Pine Lake for a day of swimming. Hope you enjoyed visiting with mullein today. Here's part 2 of mullein. I couldn't resist. As we were heading back to the car, we see this beautiful mullein here in a gorgeous setting. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a creek right behind it. And of course it has a great backdrop of this Douglas fir tree here. So you can see this beautiful mullein plant. And of course, mullein is from Europe, and it's naturalized here. You probably see it growing along roadsides. So it definitely likes the disturbed soils. We just want to make sure every time we harvest mullein that it's in a good place, away from other pollutants. And this is just the perfect place, right here on the edge of a forest with a beautiful creek going by. Alright folks, now it's really time for swimming.